Imagine this. Someone can't stand you, maybe they roll their eyes when you speak or they quietly root for you to fail. Painful, right? But here's the kicker. What if I told you that the very same person could be turned into an ally, maybe even a close friend, and that it can happen faster than you think? Sounds crazy, almost impossible. But stick with me, because this isn't wishful thinking. It's raw psychology, and it works. See, most people approach conflict the wrong way. They either fight back, avoid it, or try to force respect. But here's the controversial truth. Enemies aren't always a curse. They're an opportunity. An opportunity to master the psychology of likability, to win people over, and to gain trust instantly. And yes, there's a simple shift you can make. Do this to make friends, and watch walls come crashing down. Now this isn't some fluffy, just be nice and everyone will love you advice. This is practical, strategic, and deeply human. It's about using social skills improvement and instant likability tricks that most people overlook. Because once you know the secret to being likable, even to your haters, you'll stop wondering how to handle enemies and start attracting positive people everywhere you go. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to turn enemies into friends instantly. Understanding the root of conflict. Most people don't realize that behind every enemy, there's usually a misunderstanding, insecurity, or unmet need. It's rarely about you, it's about what you represent to them. Maybe you remind them of someone who hurt them, or maybe your success triggers their own feelings of inadequacy. Understanding this flips the script. Instead of asking, why do they hate me, you start asking, what's really going on beneath the surface? That mindset alone is a game changer in the psychology of likability. Think about it. A coworker might constantly dismiss your ideas, and on the surface, it feels like they just don't like you. But if you dig deeper, maybe they're worried about being overshadowed. By recognizing that, you can shift your approach. Instead of pushing back harder, you subtly show respect for their contributions. That simple move can instantly make people respect you and stop people from hating you, because you've addressed the root, not the symptom. And here's where the magic begins. Once you learn to see enemies as mirrors of their own struggles, you stop taking things personally. That's when you can apply instant likability tricks like acknowledging their perspective or even validating their feelings without agreeing with them. This doesn't make you weak, it makes you strategic. It's self-improvement in its purest form, transforming your perspective so you can handle haters and influence people naturally. And once you master this, the door opens to an even more powerful step. The power of respect and small gestures. Respect is a universal language, and ironically, it's the very thing your so-called enemies crave the most. Most people believe respect is earned only through big actions or authority. But here's the twist. Small, consistent gestures often speak louder. A nod of acknowledgement, remembering their name, or even asking their opinion, even if you don't agree, plants seeds of trust. These micro actions are the secret to being likable in situations where hostility feels inevitable. Picture this. You're in a meeting, and that one person always cuts you off. Instead of snapping back, you pause, let them finish, and then say, "That's an interesting point. Let me build on it." That tiny shift not only calms the tension, but also shows confidence and maturity. It's a form of raw self-help that instantly changes the energy. Suddenly, you're no longer seen as a threat, but as someone who respects them, which makes people respect you in return. And don't underestimate the power of gratitude, even toward those who dislike you. A simple, "Thanks for sharing that," or "I appreciate your perspective," works like social judo. It disarms hostility and makes people start questioning why they even disliked you in the first place. This is how to gain trust instantly and how to stop people from hating you, through small, genuine gestures that no one expects. And once you understand this, you'll be ready to use an even deeper strategy that changes the entire game. Finding common ground. One of the fastest ways to turn enemies into friends is by finding something, anything, you share in common. People often underestimate how powerful this is. Shared experiences, interests, or even struggles create invisible bridges. It doesn't have to be huge. Maybe it's the same favorite coffee spot, or maybe you've both had tough bosses. The point is, when someone sees a piece of themselves in you, their walls begin to crumble. That's psychology of likability in action. Take a real-world example. Imagine two coworkers who constantly clash. One day, during a break, they discover they both grew up in small towns. Suddenly, the tension eases. Why? Because common ground reminds us we're human first, rivals second. It's a social skills improvement tactic that works in friendships, business, and even family feuds. If you want to know how to be more likable, start by hunting for those subtle connections. Here's the trick. You don't sit someone down and ask, "What do we have in common?" Instead, you listen, you notice, you show genuine curiosity. Maybe they mention they love a certain movie and you say, "No way, I'm a fan too." That spark, small but real, can flip the switch from hostility to harmony. And once you get that spark, you're ready to use it as fuel for something even more powerful: influence. Because finding common ground isn't the end, it's just the beginning of how to win people over. The art of giving without expecting. Here's a secret most people never try. Generosity has the power to melt hostility faster than arguments ever will. When you give without expecting anything back, it rewires how others see you. An enemy expects you to compete, to push back, or to ignore them. What they don't expect is kindness. That shock alone can be the first step in how to influence people and how to turn enemies into friends. Think of it this way. Imagine a neighbor who always seems annoyed with you. Next time, instead of avoiding them, you bring over some cookies or offer to help with their trash cans. That single act of goodwill changes the dynamic. It's not about the cookies. It's about the message. I see you, I respect you. These are the kind of instant likability tricks that make people respect you and even wonder why they disliked you in the first place. Generosity doesn't have to be material either. Sometimes, it's giving credit in a meeting, sharing useful information, or simply giving someone your full attention when they talk. These acts of giving signal maturity, strength, and self-improvement tips in action. They shift the story from rivalry to cooperation. And once you start giving without strings attached, you unlock the next level, earning respect in a way that sticks. Turning respect into lasting influence. Once you've broken the ice, built respect, and shown generosity, the next step is transforming that fragile piece into lasting influence. Here's where the psychology of likability really shines. Influence isn't about manipulation, it's about consistency. When people see you walking your talk, staying calm under pressure, and treating others fairly, even your old enemies start to see you as someone worth following. That's how to earn respect and keep it. Picture this. A boss who was once harsh and dismissive slowly starts consulting you because you've proven reliable. Or maybe a classmate who once mocked you begins asking for your advice. Why? Because you've shown through actions, not words, that you're steady, trustworthy, and genuinely invested in growth. This is raw self-help in motion, using personal development mindset to shift not only how people see you, but how they interact with you long-term. And here's the kicker. Lasting influence turns your enemies into your biggest advocates. The very people who once doubted you can become the ones defending you in rooms you're not even in. That's the secret to being likable at the highest level. It's not about charm, it's about building trust brick by brick. And when you master this final step, you don't just learn how to stop people from hating you, you learn how to attract positive people into your life effortlessly. So here's the truth. Enemies don't have to stay enemies. With the right mindset, you can flip hostility into connection and suspicion into trust. You've seen how to deal with enemies, how to stop people from hating you, and even how to win people over with small but powerful shifts. The real question is, will you actually apply this? Because knowing the psychology of likability is one thing, but living it, that's where transformation happens. Think about it. Who in your life right now could you test this with? A coworker who avoids you, a neighbor who gives you side eyes, or maybe someone in your own family. Imagine what would happen if you tried even one of these instant likability tricks today. Wouldn't it feel incredible to see that wall of negativity start to crumble? That's the power of self-improvement tips in action. So I'll leave you with this. Are you brave enough to turn your critics into allies? To be the person who attracts positive people effortlessly? If so, start today. And if you want to keep mastering these social skills improvements, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join this journey of personal development mindset. Because the secret to being likable and respected isn't a mystery, It's a practice, and it starts now.